What we're going to do today is looking at really simple movement within Unity and the quick ways we can do that now. Every year, C# updates itself, Unity updates itself, breaking down scripting and C#, so it's even easier to get player movement and making your game even quicker. So what I've done is I've put a game object in the middle of my scene at the position of 0, 0, 0. And what I want to do is move left and right with some simple movement, and hopefully I'm not going to show you how to do the y-axis because it should be self-explanatory. If not, I'll upload this and you can comment under or email me or anything like that, and I can help with the vertical input if needs be. But hopefully you shouldn't need too much guidance on it. So as I said, I put a cube in the middle of my scene and in the middle of my game view as well at 0, 0, 0, named that player and also created a script called movement. So hopefully I can double click on that and there we go, ready to start. Scripting. So unlike transform.position, that is teleporting a game object from one position to another. We want some smooth, really nice movement with this. So the best way you can do this, and probably the best thing you can do to help guide you as well, if we look on the inspector, click on our player, we can see this kind of little blue book. And what this blue book is essentially a scripting help that Unity gives you. So if we click on that, there we go. So as soon as I've clicked on that, because I've clicked on it from transform, it's given me what transform is. Okay, and it's stating what I can do with it and everything like that. Fantastic. I'm going to switch to scripting because there we go. This is essentially what we've done before with moving a transform. As we said, it's almost like teleporting. We've got all the properties that we can use here, and we're looking for something called translate. There we go. So moves the transform in the direction and distance of translation. Okay, so it's translate. So from transform, where you're going from one position to another, like teleporting, translate is showing that motion, showing that movement from one direction to another. Okay, so if we click on translate, the description of it here, as we can see, gives us transform.translate vector3 forward dot time dot delta time. So at the moment, this is a real sort of basic of it for the movement. So transform, obviously we know that is our movement position here. And translate, as we've just said, translate is not teleporting but getting that smooth motion across. Vector3 is obviously the object wanting to move. This is saying then dot forward. So dot forward would probably be a positive. So it's either going right. So this is moving along the z-axis. So that would be moving in a positive. So +1, +2, not negative numbers. Or you could say, I don't know if you could say backward or left or right. It's probably a better term to put them forward. Times by time dot delta time. And that's really important because at the moment, as you can see, the example that Unity have given is in void update, which is 100% correct. We are going to put this in void update, but void update, if we just look at Visual Studio really quickly, updates once per frame. So if we just simply put in transform.translate new vector, and that was it, and we let that play, it would just zoom off the screen straight away because it would be at 60 frames per second, and we don't want that. We want it to move to our own power and our own position. So what we're going to do is I've lost it now. Let's have a look. Here we go. Time.delta time creates real time, so real time movement, and Unity does understand what that is, but obviously you might want other things moving at different speeds and things like that, which we're going to do. And we can also add a speed variable into our game project, our C# script as well, which will work with our movement and our motion. So let's have a look here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do transform dot translate. Cool, that will hopefully pop up later. Brackets, so we're going to do a new vector3 because we know that is the object itself. And what we're going to initially do, what we could initially do is do a bracket, and you could say we could say 1 for, and that would be like moving forward, for example. So 1, 0, 0, and then we could do probably after that, come out of that, go space, time, so time dot delta time, and we could do something like that. I'm not sure what that would do actually. We can always just have a test, put that through there, make sure a script goes, if he wants to play ball. We've had no issues coming up, that's good. Let's quickly put this in here, click play, and what it should do, there we go. So it's at the moment it's moving without control, so we haven't added the controls in, but because we've added the time dot delta time, it's moving 1 frame to the right. Okay, because we've put +1. So if we look at here, at our position, so if we wanted to go +1 on the X, we would move right, and if we wanted to go minus, that would be left. Okay, so yeah, 0. Cool. So at the moment with our scripts, it's just moving right because we've put 1, so it's moving positively to the right hand side, but we don't want that. We want to be able to control this movement, don't we? So, and at the moment it's moving a bit slow as well, but we can counteract that in a second. So an easy thing that we can do is add a input of horizontal input. So what we can do is if we create horizontal input, so we create our own variable essentially, which equals input dot get axis, and our axis will be our horizontal input. Horizontal. Yep, that should be okay. Cool. Okay, so this should allow us to move our box or our cube. Okay, so, and you might be thinking, okay, I can't really remember, where did you get horizontal from? How do you know that will work? Well, it's already embedded in within Unity, and we can find that by going up to I believe it's edit, project settings, and input. Once we click on that, we can see axes, and we can see horizontal, and horizontal controls our left and our right keys, A and D, and everything else. It's already in there, it's already implemented. So it's really easy to just say, I want that input, get that axis, and it's going to be horizontal. Okay, so if I save this, I'm not sure this will work, but we can always have a check. It's always a part. A compile error has fixed before. Oh, okay, we've got some compile errors before we have, haven't we? I probably haven't done something. Horizontal does not exist in the current context. Oh, you're right. Okay. So I'm going to quickly create a variable for that. So what we need to do is go up here and create a variable for our horizontal axis. So what this can be, this can just work as a private float, and then horizontal input. Cool. I can quickly save that. So that will work. Let it read it. Yeah. Cool. So if you press play, now I've stated it as a variable. I should. Oh, I'm kind of fighting it. Not quite working yet. Okay, no worries. So what we can do is go back to our script. I know why it's not working, okay, because I haven't implemented horizontal input into here. At the moment, I'm saying, yeah, I want those controls, but I haven't actually put it into my translation part of my script. So what I'm going to do, instead of this 1, because remember, horizontal is on the x-axis, and every time we look at transform, if we look on our inspector, it goes x, y, and z. Exactly the same here within our C# scripts, so x, y, and z. So instead of putting 1, what I'm going to do is write horizontal input. There we go, double click, add that into there, Command and S, so we're going to save that, and I should have control of, cool, so if I now do the keys, there we go. I'm moving along very slowly, but I've now got control of my cube. Okay, so we are moving really slowly, like a slug. So what we need to do is add a speed variable. And again, this is another thing that's inputted or embedded already into Unity. So and C#. So what I can do is under this, I can put another private float, and this time we can just write speed. And what I'm going to do, I haven't showed you this before, but I'm just going to put these brackets and write serialize fields. Serialize field. So serialize field. Hopefully that might work. It might not work, depending if this Unity wants to play ball. Cool. So what that will allow me to do is, despite it being a private float, I'll be able to see it within the inspector here. So now I've got my speed variable. Let's add this to it. So again, then we go times by speed times by time.delta time, and then we should be able to put our speed variable in our inspector. Let's let that compile. There we go. So speed is currently 0. So I could change speed to 5. And let's quickly play this to see if I've got better movement. Yes, a lot better. So there we go. Moving right and then moving left. Fantastic. Because I've added that speed variable in. It's a lot smoother. The serialized field has worked as well, despite it being a private float. If you add serialized field above it, as we can see here, we can still get to our speed. I've added our speed into our translation, as well as our horizontal input. So this should allow you to do a vertical input as well. So good luck with that, and see you soon.